What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 11th day of October today, and here we are sitting at about $0.004. 1 day, 10 hours left in this week here. It's as if nothing really happened to ZBCN. I know we dropped a good bit. I know we dropped technically from open to close about 19% yesterday and a lot more than that overall. But where you are is like where you were last week. You know what I mean? Like it's really not that detrimental to the price. We even actually had scenarios where you could come down here and find support at these exact areas. Now, all the way down here, that was not part of the game plan, but whatever. You did move down, you did find support, and you are ready to move higher. Absolutely, you are. Now, does that mean that you're going to move higher right now? Probably not. You probably see a couple of days of consolidation figuring this out, maybe even a couple of weeks. I do assume that ZBCN is still on a path higher, and I think that while this is a little bit of a speed bump, I don't think it's going to shake us off of our overall objectives of getting to a 2 to 4.5 cent target price or even beyond that. It just might not happen by the end of October. Maybe this will be something reserved more for November or even end of year. But I doubt end of year. I doubt that you're below 2 cents end of year. I would think that you are, or sorry, below 2 cents end of November. I would think that end of November we're well above 2 cents, but time will tell. Looking at this here, let's just start off with the 1 hour time frame, and then we'll zoom out. We'll go to the longer term stuff. Okay, get done with the boring stuff first. Save the best for last. The 1 hour time frame here, the RSI, we are finding resistance at the 40, right above the 40 here, consolidating like this. I mean, imagine if we didn't have a big wick down like this. If we just had this shape, that's it, all this price action, nothing to do with this wick, this would look like a bear flag, right? It would look pretty bearish, and I wouldn't be surprised if we did get some bearish continuation because of that. Now, again, I don't think that we're going to see lower lows than this low, but we could very well go below this low here. And if we play off of these fibs here from a low to a high, the expectation therein might be we go to about 0.0036 to 0.0035 or even just below there. It's very possible. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if today or tomorrow we happen to go lower, fret not. It's a great opportunity to buy. If anything, it's definitely not an opportunity to sell. I hope that that's clear. Hope that that's understood. Looking at the RSI, definitely bearish overall. Stochastics are bearish, and the MACD is bearish overall as well on the 1 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame definitely suggestive that we have lower to go. If we were rejecting the oversold zone, like it looks like we were trying to do here, if we were rejecting it, we would have seen a better move, right? Something like this, right? When you reject the overbought zone, it's something like this. It's not this weak little divot here. I don't think that we're rejecting. I think that we're just biding our time, consolidating at this area before we see that final push down. And again, I don't think that we'll see a low this low, but I do think that we'll see lower prices relative to where we are here. The MACD looks bearish, and the stochastics are also bearish, suggesting the same things that we do have lower to go. Daily time frame here, ZBCN, looks like we want to go lower, rejecting the overbought zone here. Bearish divergence, technically, right? If you have a double top and you have lower highs, I'd call that bearish divergence. Same thing on all time frames. All time frames you have bearish divergence, but to be fair, that divergence has already played out with yesterday's move. You are at areas to bounce in the stochastics, you are at areas to bounce in the MACD, and you're also at areas to bounce in the RSI, but you can afford to go lower on all of them. So modest dropping. I would expect that the lows that come in, the lows that are lower than today's lows, I would expect they're in the form of a wick as well. We are already at a dysregulated price right here. We're supposed to be up here, but because of the transactions that took place yesterday, we saw this kind of shift down. I think that there's a certain magnetism, let's say, to higher prices. I think that we are called for higher prices. That's why I believe any price that happens to be below this wick here today that we formed, any price that's below 0.00375 will likely be very short-lived, very, very short-lived indeed. It'll just be panic sellers, and the reason why it'll be short-lived is because people who are buying it up are diamond hands, are strong hands, are people who have conviction and are going to hold. There's probably a large desire to buy right below this level, and anybody who's looking to buy, who's sophisticated in this space, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, they probably already bought some and are looking to buy more. They're probably looking to buy more in case the price drops lower, right? Sophisticated investors, they don't just ape in all at once, right? They'll buy a little bit here, and then if the price drops lower, they'll buy some more, and if it drops lower, they'll buy some more. If it comes back up, then they ape in because they've loaded up and they don't want to miss the breakout. So that's kind of how it is. Multiple buying areas. So I would assume that there is going to be some panic selling, and how unsophisticated traders work too is like they're like, oh God, okay, that was it. that must have been it. We're done. Okay, clearly that big of a wick, we're going to go up. So any downside means, oh my God, there's more to come. What was I thinking? It's you get PTSD. You have a flash memory of this happening again, and you panic sell the lows. You think that you're doing the right thing, but really you're just selling to the people who are sophisticated, and you providing that you are unsophisticated. Unfortunately, it happens to all of us. I'm not trying to say that you're as an individual you're unsophisticated, or that somebody else is more sophisticated. I'm just saying as trading goes or as investing goes. Sophistication really is just revolved around experience, right? And less experienced traders, investors are going to get reamed here if you panic sell on this coming move down. And I do think that there is a move down coming. I mean, obviously we already had one, but it won't be that extreme. But it'll be somewhat a little bit more than what we have now. The weekly RSI looks fine, neutral right now, but bullish overall. Stochastics are bullish, MACD is bullish. Overall, guys, again, like I was saying in the beginning, I think that we have a phenomenal time ahead of us here. I do believe that we're going to see dramatically higher prices. From the current price going all the way up here, that'd be anything from about a 140% move to 260% move just in our primary target zone. That's at about 1 to 1.5 cent there. You break above 1.5 cent, the next target area is anything from about 2 cents to 4.5 cents, and that is anything from about a 5x move to roughly a 11x move as well. With the potential, absolutely, there's massive potential to go all the way up to about 6.1 cents to 8 cents. I have a theory about altcoins, you guys, and I've said it in a few videos of mine already today, that I think that, and this is based off of my experience in the last two bull markets that I've had, okay? So what I've seen is that typically Bitcoin does rally first, right? Dominance grows, and then whenever dominance starts to drop, that's whenever alt season kicks off, okay? But what happens in these pivotal moments where dominance starts to drop is that the mentality shifts. Bitcoin dominance is growing because everybody assumes they're going to make more money with altcoins. So Bitcoin is the better bet. It's contrarianism at its finest, right? And then by the time everybody gets on board with Bitcoin being the safe bet and they relinquish their altcoins, they forsake their altcoins, they go into Bitcoin, that's when alt season starts. And we just had a massive event that proves to a lot of people that Bitcoin is the only investment, that Ethereum is the only investment. You shouldn't be investing. Yeah, Bitcoin got reamed, but altcoins got reamed way harder, right? You shouldn't be investing in anything but Bitcoin, Ethereum, what else? Zcash, Zora, the coins that didn't dump as hard yesterday as everything else did. Everything dumped. Everything saw a little bit of a dump yesterday, but the point being here, and my camera's kind of glitching, so I'm just going to take away the big face now. It only does that on the big face, I've noticed. And I don't want to turn up the performance on my computer. I don't want the volume to turn up. But the point being here, we've hit a moment where altcoins are not as appetizing as they've been. People see the risks to altcoins, and they see them loudly. So loudly, in fact, that I think this is going to cloud their judgment, and everybody's going to flock to Bitcoin. And it's at moments like this that alt season really starts to rally. So I have a theory that while Bitcoin's consolidating, while it's doing its thing, I think Bitcoin's going to figure it out. And before Bitcoin sees new all-time highs, I wouldn't be surprised if ZBCN saw new all-time highs first. That's all I'm trying to say. I still think by the end of this month of October, ZBCN will see new all-time highs. I think going into November, we should be reaching for that 2 cent target or more. And then end of year, we should be at this 3 to 4.5 cent target at least. If not, end of November, we should be here, and then reaching for higher targets. I honestly do expect that we'll see 6 cent, 7 cent, and even 10 cent prices by the end of the year for ZBCN. But you've got a lot of growth to go. Again, I could give you the same spiel that we've given over the past couple months now, which is that this is just the first move. Typically with movements like this, you accumulate, you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-legged impulsive count, right? So with that, the third leg is typically bigger than the first leg. If that's true, then this next leg should be bigger than the first leg, in which case we'd see a move that takes us above 3 cents. Above 3 cents, right? And we haven't actually broken out here yet. So wherever we break out, we're still in this consolidation phase. So it'd probably be from here. Above 3 cents, above 4 cents even. I wouldn't be surprised. And the only targets that make sense for above 3 cents, above 4 cents are this 4.5 cent target to a 8 cent target area. So ultimately, I believe that's where we're going to go by the end of November, okay? Nothing's changed. We're just at a discount right now. And again, the important thing to remember here, I think beyond all else, beyond the fact that we are going to move up more and that everything is still happening according to plan, just with a little speed bump in the middle. The important thing to remember here is there are signs of weakness right now, and that we can and likely do see lower prices. I don't think that we go below this low, but I think that we go lower here. And in which case that, from the current price, if we go as low as I think we could go, You know, that's like a 17% drop. We could drop 20% from here and still be fine. Okay. Dips are for buying right now. We are in prime time buying opportunities. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if we pump from here, don't get too excited, right? Just like if we dump from here, don't get too depressed. Okay, we're figuring ourselves out, and then soon enough we should be rallying. I really do believe that altcoins, ZBCN, all kinds of altcoins will be pumping while Bitcoin is still figuring itself out. And I think that we'll come out on top of this probably next week. I think next week will be a green week for altcoins. And going into the end of the month, things should still be good. So that's my thoughts right now. If I'm wrong, the way that I'd be wrong is that we just consolidate for longer. I don't think that I'm wrong in the sense that we go lower than the slow. I very much doubt that we go below the slow. But if we do, it'll be quick and then it'll be done before you know it. But I doubt that happens. Anyways, guys, I don't have anything else to say. I think I've said it all. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I very much believe in ZBCN. It's got a market cap right now of what? $300 million, $200 million, $370 million. With that, you definitely have 100x potential. If not 100x potential, at least something that's like double what the average altcoin is going to do, which what I expect is that we're going to see like a 20x across the board. So I think ZBCN is 40x potential, 50x potential, and beyond, absolutely. 100x potential from here would put us all the way up at about 40 cents. And there are target areas up there. That's your 4618. There's not a lot of history here, so we can't really go off of all these different fibs, but if we put something up here, let's see, high to low, your 3618 is at 21 cents. That's about a 50x, right? That's about, yeah, it's about a 54, 55x. 3618 there, pretty significant level. 4618 there at 24 cents. Or no, that's the 4114. The 4618 here lines up pretty well with this 4114. Say 4114 fast. 110x there, 111x, very possible outcomes by the end of the cycle. I don't think ZBCN goes to $1. I don't think it even sees 50 cents, but I do think we get between, you know, somewhere between like let's say 20 cents and 50 cents. That'd be my guess. Anyways, here we are right now, well below half a cent. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.